Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And today we're taking a look at from the G.I. Joe Classified series. This is the Amazon exclusive Kamakura. A little bit of controversy around this figure, but I kind of dig it. It seems really fun. As I mentioned, it's an Amazon exclusive, and just want to say right off the bat, I think it's really cool how Hasbro has been handling the classified series lately. Um, Not really following any real order, but going for those choice characters. And it's great to finally see representation of the new Sculpt era. For those of you unfamiliar, the new Sculpt era is a fan named era that was right after was it sometime after the 15th anniversary, where GI in the early 2000s, where GI Joe was starting to get a little more popular again, and you know, it was like a return to form, if you will. Whereas Hasbro was leaving the Beast era and going back to vehicle-based Transformers, um, GI Joe was getting refreshed. So we were getting new figures, new sculpts, new sculpt era, and more importantly, new characters. And Kamakura was one of those characters from that era, and is actually transcended that point in time to maintain its popularity through the various lines. And like I said, it's great to see it here. Now, unfortunately, there are a couple issues with the figure. As you can see, I have Kamakura basically set up the way I would display the figure. And that's with the unmasked head holding the Uzi, this double bladed weapon, double bladed staff of sorts, and the two swords here in the back. Now, these are not the katanas. These are, I unfortunately don't know the name of these swords. I almost want to say that that's supposed to represent the staff broken down in two, since it does have the same blade work. Now, clearly that sheath on the back was meant for the katanas. They sit better, and it just, in terms of overall looks, the katanas look better. But I wanted to do something a little bit different than the typical ninja katana, which we've gotten a few times already with Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. But you see, that's about it. And that's not all the accessories that Kamakura comes with. So what we're actually going to do is I will strip the figure down and then show you all the accessories that Kamakura comes with. Okay, I've gone ahead and stripped the figure down, and let me just mention right off the bat, I didn't remove the scarf or the little extension to the belt there from the back of Kamakura. Those do come separate, and you would have to add them on. Also, Kamakura, at least my figure, I might be different with others, came packaged with the mast head on. So we'll start off with that. First, we have the masked head, which is how Kamakura was, I think, first shown to us. I unfortunately don't have any of the figures from that era, so I can't be 100% sure. But looks very nice, and it does come with a reuse of the hood that I believe came with the new version of Storm Shadow we just got, which is that classic look. In fact, I think this might be a repaint of that head. Let me just tell you right now, basically, this hood works best with this head. I think it's slightly smaller than the unmasked head, and that does make a difference in terms of looks with when it's on the body. Also, you have to remove the scarf, or else the head won't be able to peg in properly. We'll take a closer look at this little sheath section. I mean, here, let me remove the swords, but it's just a simple little thing that pegs into the back there, and that's really the only weapon storage we have. And here we have those two blades, and as I mentioned, identical metalwork to the staff. So I don't know, are they meant to be connected? And then, of course, we have the katanas. And one thing I noticed while I was just putting them out is one of these katanas has a nice little green band around the handle, as if to signify that it's Kamakura's blade. I don't know if that's just missing paint deco or it's intentional, but it really does look nice. And again, these are some really nice katanas. These are actually swords I wish that Snake Eyes came with, because while in Classified, he's been coming with the Arashikage sword, which is the original sword that way back in the day, the version 2 Snake Eyes came with. Usually, when he's been depicted using a sword, it's a traditional katana. And then, of course, he comes with great little M1211 handgun, I believe. And it does have that little barrel extension, I think, for a silencer, or that front piece we saw with Stalker. No holster to use it, though. This tactical knife that we've seen me drop a few times, but we've also seen a few times already. Would have liked to have the sheath with it. It's really nice. But then, as we saw, he comes with the Uzi 9mm. And yes, that's actually how it's pronounced. You have to say that just like that every time. And in fact, if somebody tries to say Uzi 9mm without saying it like that, I'd worry about him. But yeah, this actually looks pretty good. The handgun looks a little small in Kamakura's hands, but this fits quite well. And let me just give you a closer look at the figure. Nice ninja padding right there. All the articulation you would expect. I want to say this is maybe just a repaint, slight retool of the Storm Shadow or Blue Ninja figures we've gotten already, Red Ninja figures. Love the butterfly joints. You can really, if you want to have them bend back like that. The Arashikage tattoo, the handguards, really nice. And popping the head off isn't that difficult, as I struggle saying. Oh, oh, my God. That was not that hard before. But as you can see, as I mentioned, that scarf, which is really the hood folded up, that's that piece. And you can also, you can have it with the masthead, but we're just going to go ahead and put the hood on. And really what you want to do is, because of how the hood's designed, put the head in the hood and then just shove it in there and push down. Don't be bashful. You got to get it in there. There you go. Nice little snap. And there's Kamakura hooded up. I don't know. I was kind of hoping to be able to use the hood with the unmasked head, but like I said, it really doesn't look right. But in terms of articulation, as I mentioned, it's everything you remember from the Joes we've already looked at. So no reason to go over it again. Nothing new. He does have the dropped hips, which are nice. So I think we'll pause and we'll come back with my final thoughts. Had to bust out the Hasbro stand to do a nice little action pose here to finish off with Kamakura. Like I said, I really enjoy this figure, and I think it's kind of nice. But as I mentioned, there's a little bit of controversy. The lack of full weapon storage. I think a holster and a sheath would have gone a long way to a knife sheath to make this figure really special. But also there's an issue with the price. Apparently Amazon is pricing Kamakura as a deluxe figure. And frankly, I don't see a lot here to mark him as a deluxe figure. For example, I don't feel it comes with more accessories than, say, Storm Shadow, the recently released Storm Shadow, and that was sold at the regular classified price point. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, if you look at the previous deluxe figures we've gotten, something like Crocmaster that came with the alligator, um, the two Snake Eyes is with Timber, and then if we get a little bit bigger with the vehicles, you have Breaker with the Ram Cycle, and the forthcoming Serpentor with its air chariot, and then also Dr. Mindbender with all his stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if this is an exclusivity markup price, but I know a lot of fans are having a problem with the cost of Kamakura right now. And all I can say is if it's really bothering you, maybe wait for a sale. We'll see what happens. But other than that, um, I don't. Again, I really don't know what to tell you. Uh, I'm happy that I got it. If it was if it was at regular retail price, I'd be even happier. But I hope this doesn't cause an issue where we don't get more of those new Sculpt era figures, especially the ones that are really iconic to that era. Um, so yeah, that's really just about all I can say. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. I do appreciate the views. They do help to communicate to YouTube through the algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, I know times are tough, and the only reason I'm mentioning Patreon is we are closing in on the holiday season where people might have a little bit of extra money. But if you don't, please don't worry about me. I will be fine. Your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. So that's about it. Um, oh, before I forget, as some of you might have noticed, I've started doing shorts a bit more often and frequently. So please make sure to check those out. That does help overall getting the channel out there. So that really is a bonus. And like I said, they're a minute. So, you got a minute. But again, this is your old pal Chuck for Kamakura. We will see you next time.